So, excited to have Adriano Autino with us, co-founder and former president of Space Renaissance International, a non-governmental organization dedicated to democratizing access to space. With a background in industrial electronics, Adriano's career evolved from software engineering and project management in real-time automation systems to the aerospace sector, where he developed integrated software tools supporting system engineering and project life cycle management. His written works, which include several books, papers, and articles, focus on the expansion of civilization into outer space. So, without any further ado, Adriano.
Thank you. Okay, friends. Yes, we are SRI, Space Renaissance International. We initiated, together with NSS, this campaign about 1 year ago. And we have now almost 80 organizations in the coalition supporting this proposal of an 18th SDG. Okay, let me go ahead. So in the 17 SDGs picture, there is an empty slot. And what is behind this empty slot? In fact, it is a closed window. And behind this window, we have UNOSA and COPUOS. The UN representatives in their speeches never talk about space and about UNOSA and COPUOS. So if you go in the street and ask to the people, normal people, I mean, what are these acronyms, they don't know. So what do we want to do? We want to open that window and to put space in its real place. So this is the complete picture of the Sustainable Development Goals. Otherwise, without the 18 SDG, they will be UDG, Unsustainable Development Goals. So the rationals. The story begins in 2015 when the 2030 agenda was published with the 17 SDGs, and SpaceX began experimenting reusable rockets that are changing, completely making a revolution in the launch market. Clearly, space is the answer to the crisis of civilization. It is the answer for resources that are very much limited nowadays for 8 billion people on Earth. Is the answer for peace, because achieving the resources of space will make resource war obsolete on Earth. For energy, benefiting from the sun energy. Territory, new territory, virtually unlimited territory for development. For the environment, because developing outside, we will relieve planet Earth from the burden of our industrial development. For population, because in the solar system there is place, there is room and resources for trillions of people to develop. And social, very important. Social growth is possible only if there is industrial development. And the only possible industrial development now is outside Earth. So, we feel in SRI is a philosophical association, it is a humanist association, humanist philosophical association. We feel the urgency of this task to start civilian space development, because the launch window, as our friend Greg Marignac reminded to me a few years ago when we had a conversation, the launch window could close under the strike of the multiple crises that are grasping our civilization. So on one side we have the low-cost access to space that is growing quickly with the Starship that is going to maybe become operative this year. And on the other side, we have the multiple crises, social, financial, environmental, geopolitical crises, and now the horrible wars that are going on. So we feel the urgency to start making meaningful steps of civilian space development before 2030, because that could give back hope to the young people, to give back a project, a big project on which to work, and so a great inspiration. Okay, non-exhaustive list of urgent tasks: fully reusable launch vehicles, permanent moon base, producing propellant in space, simulated gravity, life protection in space, commercial rotating space stations, mining the moon and the near-Earth asteroids, orbital debris reutilization. Some of these things should be made before 2030, as I already said. Now, let's look at the Sustainable Development Goals. We can observe that there are 3 goals, the 7, the 8, and the 9, that are key pillars to sustain all of the rest of the goals, because they represent energy, jobs, economy, and innovation, industrial innovation. Without these 3 goals, achievement of these 3 goals, nothing else is possible, including environmental goals. So the point is, are these 3 pillars really sustainable? The answer is no, if they are confined within the limits of Earth. Clearly, we have to add an 18th SDG that make all of the rest of the 17 SDGs really sustainable. In fact, there is a crash between the 7, 8, and 9, that is the industrial development, and the environmental goals, if we want to do it on Earth. So if we start doing outside, that will be feasible and really sustainable. Let's only think about the increasing demand of energy that is given by the electronic society and by the artificial intelligence now, and by the electronic money and the internet itself, and the communication that requires a very, very high demand of energy. So where can we find this energy? On Earth? No, we can find it outside, in space. Okay, demand by artificial intelligence is very huge. Estimations say that it will require a combination of power demand up to 10,000 times what it requires now in terms of energy demand. Space development for the SDGs, the benefits are evident. Energy relocation of the industry to space, it means less energy demand on Earth, because it will be, in perspective, it will be only the demand of private citizens, not of the industry, because the industry will be outside. Beneficial growth, the civilian astronautic industry will bring to economy an incredible, unprecedented growth. Peace and collaboration was for resources confined to the history. Environment, relief of planet Earth from industrial burden, and we have to add cosmic safety, something that the 17 SDG don't consider. But we, living in space and working in space, we can improve our capability to protect Earth from the possible catastrophes, cosmic catastrophes. Not to be forgotten, the space for peace, what space can contribute to peace. What we are seeing nowadays in the world is a typical policy of what I call the one-move chess players. Playing chess, you cannot win if you are not able to think at least 3 or 4 moves in advance, considering different scenarios. So what we are seeing is only a reaction to one thing. They are not able to think about the future and possible difference in strategic. They are not able to think strategically. Or if they were, we will not see these terrible wars that we are seeing. And yeah, it's incredible. So there is a strict interconnection between sustainable development and peace. And civilian space development will make resource wars end. collaboration in space and the overview effect that was mentioned by our friend Frank White 2 days ago in the Space Tourism Society conference. That means that seeing Earth from space, we don't see borders. There are no nations. We only can think about peoples. Seeing, okay, so this is very important from a philosophical point of view and the vision of the world. Space economy, we said in 2021 in our third Congress of the SRI, we dared to predict a 3.5 trillion economy in 2040. Everybody say we were crazy, but nowadays they are maybe giving us the reason of that, because the forecast. Oh, crash? Oh my God. So the campaign, very quickly. What we have now are 80 organizations in our coalition. In our concept, the importance of the 18th SDG is the campaign in itself, because it allows us to talk to the society at large. We don't know if UN will accept or not, and if we will be really the 18th or not, because there are several other proposals. But however, the important is the campaign, to speak to the people, to make them understand. Okay. History, it was already said by Alfred before. Let me only say that, few seconds, David Dunlop was also a supporter of space renaissance from the 2008, from the very foundation of our movement. So in some way we share this genealogy of the birth. Okay.
I think we do have a question, and I have to get a talk loaded on. So
okay.
Why don't you take that question while I get this talk loaded on?
Yep.
Very good.
So, okay.
Is there any other competing proposal for a non-space?
I'm sorry, Wes. You know, I'm deaf and I'm old, and I have problems.
Proposal? Now that everybody's in the room is the strongest advocates for this. Is there any who's second place as far as another proposal for an 18th SDG? Is anybody else?
Is there any competition for an 18th SDG?
Yeah, we know that there are other proposals for an 18th SDG, so we are not, maybe we're not the first, and we are not the only proposals of an 18th SDG, but that is not important in our opinion, because the important is that we can use this campaign to speak to the people. Then, if our proposal will be accepted, if it could be the 18, the 19, the 20s. I don't think it is important. Important is that we put this proposal at the light of the people, and everybody can know it and support it.